Okay, so this is your notes, batch 6. So what we have discussed about IT businesses, IT services, service desk, customers, ticket, types of priorities, priority, the timelines based on the response and resolution times, and what is the service desk, what is the use of service desk, what is the function of a service desk, and as a service desk analyst, how to reach a service desk, what is SLA, OLA, UC, okay, other ticket informations. And also we discussed about different terminologies like what is event, what is alert, incident, workaround, problems, changes, service request, and also we have seen a small op manager demo also we have seen, and we missed some point. Here it is. Yes. We also discussed about SOP and troubleshooting model and KEDB. What we discussed SOP, KEDB, known error database. Okay, these are the main things we have discussed. And we discuss two issues. That's it. Only two issues. One is related to hardware, another one is related to the networking. Okay. So today we are going to start. Today is the 17th, May. Okay. So I am going to start with the hardware basics. So don't worry. So why I'm taking these notes again, I know it, I don't want to write it again, but I will explain. So the notes is just like instead of writing once again and again, so simply I can explain separately. So that is the point of putting a notes here. Okay. So here it is. The point is we started a basics of hardware. Okay. So we discussed about a PC components, their functions, boot processing, troubleshooting at boot, BSODs, of some applications like that, so like issues, safe mode, system restorations, resets. So different kind of things also we are going to discuss. I think I have to put this one little lower. It is okay. Guys, if you see, this is a system cabinet. What we call it as a system cabinet. That system cabinet means that box only. Okay. This box we call it as a cabinet. It's not a PC. Sorry, it is a PC, but it's not CPU. Okay. It's a cabinet means it's a box. What is that things in the box? You have your main computer components inside this box or cabinet. Like you have a CPU, you have RAM, you have motherboard, you have some PS, okay? You have CD-ROMs, everything is inside your cabinet only. Okay? You have CPU. Where is a CPU? CPU is also called processor, central processing unit, which is inside your box. If you take laptop inside your laptop, processor is there. RAM is there, ROM is there, dollar in the on the motherboard, your hard disk, SSDs, CD DVDs. If in case if you have a CD DVD, now it is gone. Okay. Earlier we have CD, DVD kind of stuff. Now it is not there. SMPSs. Of course, floppy disk is also not available, completely removed. Okay. It is inside of the cabinet. And what is the outside of the cabinet? So you have a desktop with a inside we have these components. What we are there outside? Like you have a keyboard. Keyboard is a input device. Mouse is a pointer device. Monitor is a output device for displaying it. Printer, scanner. Printer converts soft copy to hard copy. Like you have a document. For example, this is a document. If I take a printout, I will get it on the pen. I'll get it on the paper. I have a paper. I have some documents. Okay. If you scan and send the save into my computer, that is called a soft copy. Data or documents or information in your system is called a soft copy. If you take it out and put it on a paper or maybe on a board, that is called a hard copy. Okay. So touchpads. So instead of mouse, laptops having touchpads for a pointing devices. Touch screen. Directly on the screen we can able to give touch input like a virtual keyboards. Directly you can type it, you can open close an applications. Okay, you can scroll up and down. I can't show you now. Why? Because of it is my older laptop is touchscreen laptop. Now it is not there. Okay, mics and speakers, card readers, Bluetooth devices, external hard disk, joysticks kind of stuff is external to your system. Okay. What are the important basic components of your computer is CPU, central processing unit, also called as a processor. Without a processor, it is not even a computer. So you cannot do anything with your computer. And RAM is required for a memory purpose. Primary memory devices are RAM and ROM. Okay. And motherboard is having a facility to connect all your computer components either on the motherboard or to the motherboard. Like I will connect my hard disk to motherboard. I will connect my keyboard to motherboard like back using back panel connection. I'm connecting my mouse. How am I connecting? To the USB cable, which is outside. But actually it is connecting to motherboard only. Okay. Motherboard is facilitate connectivity to your computer components. All devices are connected to your motherboard only, either on motherboard or maybe to the motherboard using slots or using on sockets with the cables, plugs, we will connect. And of course, to store your data operating system, we need a secondary storage devices like a hard disk and solid state devices, CD-ROMs kind of stuff. Switch mode power supply. Yes, to work with your computer, you need a power supply, but main power supply is AC power supply. But for a computer, we need a DC power supply. So that's why we are using this SMPS to convert from AC main power supply to DC main power supply. So it is called a switch mode power supply. Okay, guys, understand somewhat? I started with a continuous lines. Guys, can we can we start? Happen. No one is talking. Can we start? From one by one device, explanation, processor, RAM.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Mm. Guys, actually the processor is look like this, a small chip. Okay, different processors, different shapes. Okay, different way it is there. This is actual processor. This is not CPU. CPU means this one. Okay, the two types of manufacturers mainly for our desktops and laptops. One is Intel manufacturers there, AMD manufacturers also there. Different models also there in the market. Okay, i3, i5, i7. These are the more famous now. i9 is also there. Xenon processor usually for servers purposes. AMD is another manufacturers. Is a more highlighted one is Ryzen processor. Intel Athlon processor. The AMD Athlon processor is also there. Okay. So what is a processor? Central processing unit which performs arithmetic and logical functions. Which performs arithmetic and logical functions or operations. Okay. So main, it is a brain of your computer. Without a processor, you cannot execute anything. So all your input, you given input, our processor is taking your input, process it, and generate an output. So that is the processor. And not only that one, guys, so different processors also there. Motorola will manufacture different processors. Even for a mobile phones, these companies also do manufacturing different mobile phone processors. Samsung, Xenon's processor, Qualcomm, Snapdragon, Dimensity, Halo processors. So different mobile processors also there. Not only laptops, not only for desktops, your inside your mobile also there is a processor. Okay, and these processors having certain specifications. When you want to use a processors, the processor has certain specifications. Based on that, the functionality is dependent. Every processor having a speed which measures in a kilo means hertz, megahertz, gigahertz speed is there. So simply see the CPU. It is 1.6 gigahertz processor. 1.6 gigahertz processor it is. And each processor is either 32-bit or 64-bit processors are there. Nowadays, most of the processor available in market is 64-bit processors only. Okay. So are you choose 64-bit processor or 32-bit processor? Of course, nowadays we have to use 64-bit processors only. If you go for a very old laptops or desktops, it may have a 32-bit processors. FSB. Okay, every processor having a certain clock speed which dedicate RAM. So based on the FSB, what type of RAM you have to use it? What RAM clock speed you have to use it? Based on that, we can get it. And every processor having a cache memory. What is the cache memory? Cache memory helps your processor to speed up your executing instructions. It is a memory. It helps your processor to execute instruction faster. Okay, which is built inside your processor. So think like this. I have a cache memory 6 MB cache memory. L1 cache, L2 cache, L3 cache. L3 cache is 6 MB cache memory. In some processor, different size of cache memory is there. Every processor having number of cores. Okay, number of threads are logical processors. Okay, some processors are a single core processor. Generally, the processors they use as a single core processor, only single processor. For servers, for multitasking purpose. So what they will use it to improve the CPU performance, improve the total system performance. In the servers, they will put a two or more processors, okay, on the motherboard. So that type of motherboard will support that one. Later on days, so we got our desktop models also with a dual core processor model. means two processors combined like as a one single processor. Two processors combined as single processor with a shared cache memory. So instruction load to the cache memory and give it to the processor. It will execute by share the load between these two things. So then faster execution is happen. This is improves the faster execution. This is called a dual core processor. Next type of processor is they divide a single processor into two parts instead of combining two processors as a single processor. They will divide one single processor into two processor like a core 0, core 1. This is core to geo model. Core to geo model. So can you see? Okay. So it has separate cache memory. So you see one task will run by one core, other task will run by another core. So like that, multitasking become betterment in the this type of core technologies. Okay. So it is core to geo. Quad core processor is also there. What is a quad core processor? One single processor is divided into four parts. Quad core processor, core to geo processors, okay, octa core, deca core processors also there. It means so you divide a single processor unit into multiple cores. Okay, guys, understand core technology. What is the advantage of it? It improves the multitasking functionality. This improves faster execution. This improves multi-core kind of stuff. So what the people do it, they combine both the concepts. They build core technology with a multi-threading technology. It means it act like a each core is like a dual core. So it is faster and improve high speed, faster execution is increases. So this is called a logical or a threadings. So that's why I written number of core per processors, number of threads are a logical processor per processor. So you can see number of cores are 4, logical processors are 8. Okay. Virtualization technology. What is the virtualization technologies? Guys, I am able to create and run different types of virtual machines with the different types of operating system and different applications inside. For example, you take this. This is a Windows 10 virtual machine which contains different databases installed in it. I want to try different databases, how to connect, how to log in, and how to connect that databases to ETL tools like Informatica or maybe to talent applications like that. So I want to do that one. So I created that virtual machine. In that one, I installed Windows 10. I installed different applications. This is my Linux machine. Inside, I install some Docker application and Ansible application. This is my complete DevOps machine. It is contains Git, Jenkins, Docker in it. This is voice ticketing software I installed in this Linux machine. Zabbix is a monitoring system. It is a Ubuntu operating system. Is a Ubuntu desktop operating system is there. I created this machine for practicing DevOps on Ubuntu platform. Okay. And here also I will show another virtual machines. All these machines are 64-bit machines. Guys, this is my Hyper-V virtual machine. I think I have deleted it. Okay. Okay, I practice that Hyper-V practicals here. This is ESXi host. And this is for developing some application, for sample application for my DevOps practicals. This is 2003 server, very old server, 32-bit server it is. And this is Windows Server 2019. And this is Windows 10. This is server, this is client to practice Active Directory environment. Okay, see it is. So I have a base machine is Windows 10, but I can able to create and run different virtual machines with different types of applications and with different types of purposes. How it is possible? Because of this virtualization is enabled. Because of this is my CPU is virtualization technology is enabled. So then I can able to create virtual machines in my PC. I can run that virtual machines with the different operating systems and applications. Guys understand? What happened? Okay. Yes, as I said, in a processor, there is a 32-bit model and there is a 64-bit model processors are there. Okay. Of course, the processors all start from a 4-bit processor. 4-bit processor. Okay. Actual 4004 is a 4-bit processor. Then 8-bit processor, then 16-bit processor, then 32-bit processors. Then now it is 16-bit processors. What is the difference is in 30-bit processor, we have a 32-bit size of instruction. The instruction size is 32-bit. In 64-bit processor, the instruction size is 64. Means it will can able to execute the instruction at 64-bit instructions. Means compared to 32-bit instruction, 64-bit instruction is bigger, right? So it means you can write and execute much complex instructions in a 64-bit level. Complex level instructions are required. Okay. Next one is the 64-bit processors. When it comes to 64-bit processors, it support higher RAM capacities. 64-bit processor executes 64-bit size of instructions, and it contains 64-bit size instructions itself. Okay, so what it is required? It required higher RAM capacities. It support to use bigger RAM capacities. So you can able to create and run we can able to use a complex or big applications because bigger the application required, bigger RAM to run a big application, complex applications. So we need a more big RAM capacity. So you want to use the big RAM capacity, 64-bit will support, not 32-bit. So that is a main advantage of using 64-bit processor. Okay, it support higher RAM capacities. So you can able to run big and complex applications with a more RAM capacities. You wanted that support, you have to use 64. And 64-bit processors, currently, the current 64-bit processor also supporting virtualization technologies. So then you can create and run virtual machines in your computer. Also, you can run with the Docker kind of applications. Okay. Okay. If you see any application or an operating system, there is an interaction. So, like this is an application. Is a 32-bit application or a 64-bit application? How can we understand? They itself in application they will write 32-bit, or sometimes they will put a x86. Actually, x86 represent Intel, not 32-bit, but it is become habituated to the people that is like x86 representing of 32-bit. Even i386, i586 represents Intel, but it is become now as a 32-bit application or 32-bit operating system. For 64-bit, you take 64 operating system, 64-bit application, 64-bit operating system. Okay, it shows, and that one is a 64-bit or x86 underscore 64 means Intel 64, AMD 64, Win 64 means Windows 64. Okay, so these are x64, also Intel 64. There is a representation of 32-bit and 64-bit, an application or a software or maybe an operating system it is. So the system architecture type can be 32-bit or 64-bit. Most of us, we are using 64-bit architecture only, 64-bit processors only. Okay. So, but this is the point important to understand. You have a 64-bit processor, then you must use 64-bit operating system, and the device drivers, like you want to work with your devices, like a printer you want to install, and you must use 64-bit printer drivers. Okay, applications can be 64 or 32-bit. The recent operating system like Windows 8, 8.1, Windows 10, Windows 11 has a dual functionality, means it runs both 64-bit application and 32-bit application also. Okay, so that's the point. It means you must have a compatibility between your hardware, operating system, device drivers, and application must better to use same architecture type. Guys, understand?
Yes, sir.
Very. There is one small point I want to add. What is that? You have a processor like this. The processor is a main functionality of your system, right? Every operations, every arithmetic and operations, your processing kind of stuff happens in your processor only. And this processor will get heated. The processor is gets heated. If it is getting more heated, what happen? Processor is damaged. Processor will damage. So what to do? So what the system, what the people do it? They put a heat sink on it, and on the heat sink they will put a fan. What is the use of this heat sink? So processor is getting heated. The heat sink will absorb the heat. The heat sink absorb the heat, and heat sink will get cooled by this fan, like an exhaust fan it is. So the heat sink will get cooled. So the in a processor the temperature is always maintained constantly, not to get overheated. Should not get overheated. To protect from overheating or damage to the processor, so what we are using? Heat sink. On top of heat sink, we use a fan. But between the heat sink and a processor, there is a heat sink paste. Means that there is a thermal paste on the processor. It is applied with a thermal paste. On the top of thermal paste, there is installation of heat sink. On the heat sink, there is a fan. So what happened because of this thermal paste, processor's heat can be absorbed by this heat sink become better, more contact, more better heat will be absorbed by your heat sink, more absorbed by this heat sink. Okay, this is for desktop and this is for laptops. Okay, if you see there is a plate, on the plate, on the copper plate, there is a copper rod. So that is a heat sink. This processor is getting heated. The plate is absorb the heat and it passes the heat to the copper rod to that fan assemble. Fan is rotating and fan exhaust fan it is. It means the heat will go outside of your laptop. That's why guys, don't put your laptops on lap. Laptop means the lap the the system you can able to put it on your lap on your thighs. But don't put it. Lot of heat is there. Okay. Main important is the laptop is a very congested type, means very small area. The heat holes are there. The holes will be closed. If you're putting on a lap or a bed or a pillow on sofa, okay, it is it. Use some table made kind of stuff. Or tables also good. Plain tables, wooden tables, plastic tables. You can put it. Okay. So then at least you have to give some breathing time. The heat should be escape from it. You don't require under a heat cooling fan system. Simply put it on the table straight. So that is enough for your laptop. Okay. Second one is if you put your laptop on a bed, what happen? On the bed, lot of dust is there. Breaths are closing, the dust will go to your laptop. And laptop breathers are blocked. The fan is getting more dust. If fan is getting more dust, means the heat cannot be escaped. Heat cannot be escaped means processor is getting heated. Processor is getting overheated, processor will damage. Okay, understand? So compulsory clean up your either it is desktop or laptop. If in case any dust on your heat sink or fans, clean with simple brushing or hand blowers. And hand blowers. Here it is six. That is the different point. Okay. So here it is a processor. On the top of processor, heatsink paste must be there. On the heatsink paste, we put a uh, fan. Okay, like this. Compulsory it is there. I given some notes. Additional points are there. In case your heat sink getting dust or maybe not sitting properly or heat sink paste is gone, processor is getting overheated. If it is getting overheated, it will damage. To prevent it from damage, what system is doing? System is restarting itself. System is restarting itself. So these are the points what I'm trying to say. Guys, understand what is the use of heat sink?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Yeah. The next one is RAM and ROM. Next one is RAM and ROM. What is a RAM and ROM is a primary memories. RAM and ROM are primary memories. RAM, random access memory, ROM, read-only memory. So RAM stores data temporarily. ROM is a permanent memory. ROM is actually a chip. Actually, it's a fixed chip. Inside a ROM, already instructions are burned. Means the chip itself having some instructions by the manufacturer of that ROM. So you cannot change it anyway. But in a RAM is not like that. RAM, it load instructions from your input devices, your storage devices to the RAM. And the RAM give it to the processor. Processor complete the processing and give it to RAM. And RAM is given to your IO devices. Means either it will display on the monitor or it will store on the processor, on the storage. Okay. So RAM never store any data permanently. And there is a RAM is an example for a volatile memory. ROM is an example for a non-volatile memory. What is meant by volatile memory? If you turn off your system, you shut down your system, you disconnect the device, obviously data lost from the device. You shut down your PC, data in the ROM chip, RAM chip will be lost. What is a non-volatile memory? Even you shut down the PC or you turn off the PC or maybe you disconnected from the system, still data will be remains in the device. Example, your hard disk, CD RAMs, pen drives, SD cards. Okay, this is the thing. So RAM is random access memory, ROM is read-only memory. RAM stores data temporarily. ROM stores data permanent memory it is. So when a RAM is an example for volatile memory, ROM is an example for non-volatile memory. What is meant by volatile memory? When you turn off your system, data loss. In non-volatile means even though you turn off your system, data will be remains in the device. Okay. And another important, like a RAM in your system, either you are using laptop or desktop. In laptops and desktops, the RAMs can be changeable. We can able to remove the RAM, we can insert another RAM, we can add extra RAM. You have 4 GB RAM, you can add another 8 GB, then it become 12 GB RAM. Okay, RAMs always measure in the sizes wise, speed wise, type wise it is there. ROM does not have anything. ROM is on your motherboard. Okay, ROM is on your motherboard only. You cannot able to remove or you cannot able to change it. You can't able to put some data inside. Nothing you can do. This already instructions are there. You have to use like that only. Of course, there is a BIOS settings are there. That will part I will tell you. Okay, guys, understand RAM and ROM differences?
Yes, sir.
RAM, random access memory. Okay, it is the RAM is also called as main memory or physical memory. Some places it shows only memory. It is a RAM. Possibility it is RAM. Main memory it is RAM. Physical memory it is RAM. Okay. So different names in different places they use it. Okay. Main memory, physical memory, or RAM or memory. It is indicating your RAM only. Okay. So what is the RAM? RAM stores data temporarily. It stores your instructions and data. It is a type of volatile memory. It is a volatile type of memory. In a RAM, there is a two types. One is SRAM, another one is DRAM, static RAM and dynamic RAM. These static RAMs are pure form of transistors. Pure form of transistors. It is very high speed data conductivity is there. Okay, so these SRAMs actually used inside your CPU as a cache memory. Just before I showed my cache memory, right? 6 MB cache memory. Where is the 6 MB cache memory? Which is inside your CPU. It is built inside your CPU. Cache memory is there. Okay. So what is that cache memory? Nothing but your SRAM only. And what RAM we are using? That is DRAM. These DRAMs are different types of DRAMs are there. DRAM, ECC RAM, EDO RAM, VRAM, kind of different RAMs are there. And there is another RAM is developed that is called SDRAM, synchronous dynamic RAM. This synchronous dynamic RAM further developed into double data rate synchronous dynamic RAM and DDR2, DDR3, DDR4, DDR5 is also in the market. Okay, so DDR5 is actually supporting the newer version of your laptops and desktop, means the newer version of your processors. Certain processors only it will support. The most of the recent laptops are with the DDR4 only, and very newer versions like a 12th generation, 13th generation process That to specific process will support DDR5. Okay. Understand, guys, what is static RAM and what is dynamic RAM? I see. Sorry. Okay. If you take a DRAM and there is a specifications, okay, you want to add a new RAM or you want to remove a RAM, there is a specification. You have to see the RAM, right? The RAM, what is the specifications? Size. Okay, this is my RAM. I have 16 GB RAM. In my laptop, I have a 16 GB RAM. Okay, see, there is a lot of process running in my system. So my availability RAM is 6.5. If I shut down my PC, all the process running in my RAM will be gone. Never save any data, whether it is live or closed. For example, I have a document. I close this document. Okay, as long as I open that document, the document related data that will be runs in your RAM only. I closed it, gone from the RAM. So it's not required to power off. The RAM will data stores temporarily. One process completed, when you closed it or deleted it, so obviously it is gone from your RAM only. Okay, RAM specified with the sizes, speed, models, kind of stuff. Okay, size of RAM, 4 GB RAM is there, 8 GB RAM is there, 16 GB RAM is there, 64 GB RAM is there, 128 GB RAM is there, right? Different sizes of RAMs are there. And each RAM has a certain clock speed, certain clock speed, 1333, okay, 1600, 2400, 2100, 2666, 3400, 4200. Like with the megahertz or usually nowadays all are megahertz only. The RAMs earlier days is very less. Okay, see that different RAMs having a different clock speeds. And RAMs also having models, right? DDR4 model, DDR3 model, DDR5 model, DDR2 model, like a different models of RAMs are there. And RAMs also having voltage levels. 1.5 voltage operation levels are there. 3 volts operation levels are there. Okay. Okay. So I just need Mhm. Yeah, the picture came to talk. That is enough. Mm. To upgrade or to replace a RAM, you have a system. I have a laptop. Now there is a 4 GB RAM in it. Now I want to add another 4 GB. So then it is become 8 GB and my system run better, right? If I increase my RAM capacity, system runner faster, right? I can run multiple application. I can run bigger applications. But what are the things I have to consider? First of all, based on your CPU, is your CPU supporting that much RAM or not? Okay. For example, what is my CPU model? I have 16 GB RAM. Don't worry. i5 10210U. This is my CPU model. So what I'm going to do? Intel i5 10210U. Okay. So this is my Intel website. I'm going to Intel website with this model. Okay. So this is the model I have. 4-core processor, 8-thread processor it is. Okay. How much wattage consumption of a processor? Total consumption of a wattage consumption. Maximum memory specification. See, it support up to 64 GB. Okay, so I can remove this 16 GB. I can put a 32 GB also. Two 32 GBs I can insert. It gets dual channel, right? So I'll remove the RAMs, and I will put a 232 GBs. Yeah, tell me, Jaya. Okay. Okay. Next, it support this frequency type of RAMs only. I should not use higher. I should not use lower than these things. So I have to buy this type of frequency RAM, DDR4 model, this model, and this. So maximum size is support. For example, it is showing only 16 GB, so I cannot update. Okay. So guys, compulsory check. So is your CPU model is supporting what size of the RAM, at speed of the RAM, what memory types it is supporting. Next, you have to check your motherboard. On the motherboard, whether it is laptop or a desktop, there is a motherboard. On the motherboard, memory slots are there. Most of the motherboards, either laptop or desktop, we have currently two memory slots. So, okay. So, if two memory slots are occupied, you cannot add more. So, check the memory slots. Make sure there is a memory slot available. And is your motherboard supporting what type of memory type? Okay. For example, I have older system. My old laptop support only DDR3. Okay, the motherboard is supporting DDR3. So can I put a DDR4? You cannot put it. Can I put DDR2? I cannot put it. Okay, someone gave me like, sir, this is DDR4, take it freely and insert into your desktop. It won't support, then I cannot put it. I have old desktop is there. Okay, so in the desktop, it only fits DDR2 and maximum memory I can install 4 GB RAM only. So it is already 2 GB is there. I inserted another 2 GB. That's it. I cannot install more than that one. Okay. And next, voltage levels. Based on your motherboard, again, there is a support of a voltage level of RAMs are there. 1.5 low voltage, 3 volts high voltage kind of stuff. Okay. And frequency match must be there. Like you have using two RAMs in a same PC, you are adding two RAMs, 4 GB plus 8 GB. There must be match of frequency between it. Okay. For example, you want to upgrade or replace a RAM, better to check the previous RAM. See the previous RAM information. Is it a DDR4? Is it a what type of frequency it is? What voltage level it is? You have to check it. Then you can able to update or replace your RAM. Okay. Guys, understand how to update or replace your RAM? What are the things you have to check it? CPU, motherboard, what specifications you have to check it. This is desktop, this is laptop. Okay, this is desktop, means motherboard, RAM slot, RAM. This is laptop. So we'll insert a RAM inside like that in a laptops. No one is telling. Guys, please respond. Do you understand the RAM models, RAM specifications you want to replace or upgrade a
Yes,
RAM?
sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
guys, oh, very good. So different packages of RAMs are there. But after that one, I want only two plus one. Dual inline memory module. So this is a dual inline memory module type. So this is desktop RAMs or dual inline memory modules type. Laptops RAMs we use SODIMM, small outline dual inline memory modules. These are the SODIMM lamps. This is DIMM, this is SODIMM. SODIMM used for laptops and mini PCs. Teams are used for a desktops. What is this RAM bus inline memory modules? Usually nowadays you can use in a desktops. For example, graphic card, heavy graphic cards, heavy usage places, multimedia places. What we are using? They have RAM is also getting heated. So there we use RIM type of RAMs. It means it contains a heat sink on it. Okay, heat sink on it. Even in a servers, they use RAM bus inline memory module type of RAMs because there is a heat sink on it. So that will cools your RAM. Okay, it absorbs your heat from the RAM. Because every RAM has a certain pin configuration and notch configuration. You can see there is a notch, there is a pins. Okay, so that's why you cannot exchange the RAM. Means DDR4 and DDR3, two RAMs are there. So instead of DDR3, you cannot use DDR4 because of the notch configuration, pin configurations are different. That's the point enough. Okay. Okay. Like this. The next point is again maintenance. You know, RAM is inserted into the slots. It's not directly on your motherboard. Like if you take your mobile phone, the RAM chip, the LP RAM chip is on your mobile phone chip. Okay. But in desktops and laptops, RAMs are inserted into the slots. And there will be a dust. Okay. If dust is formed on the RAM edges, okay, dust is formed on the RAM slots. So what will happen? It will give poor connectivity. It will give poor connectivity. So connectivity is gone. If RAM is not working, you start your PC and RAM is not working, or maybe RAM is loose connectivity, or maybe the RAM is got full of dust. So what will happen? You will get a blank screen on the system. Okay, normally you press the power button. So if you see any desktop, see the desktop, press the power button, immediately check the keyboard LEDs. The three LEDs will blink once. Okay, on the screen it will show some logo like a BIOS logo or maybe company logo or maybe Windows loading logo. Mm, okay, power LEDs blink, hard disk LEDs blink in general. But if you have a RAM problem, for example, RAM is loose connectivity, or RAM is not working, or maybe dust on your RAM slots. Okay, so what will happen when you power on your system on the screen? You will get a only blank screen, nothing on the monitor, and you may hear the continuous beep sounds. No keyboard LED blinking, no hard disk LED is blinking. Power LED blinks, but hard disk LED is not blinking. Tell me. Okay. So what to do in that cases? You see that screen. What you do? Open the cabinet. Remove all the power connection. First of all, you have to remove all the power connectivities. All power resources you have to remove it. Open the cabinet. Remove the RAM. Clean the RAM edges with a eraser. Use hand blowers to clean the dust on your RAM slots. Connect it. Check it once again. Is it working? Good. Not working again. Remove the RAM. Replace with a new RAM or check this RAM with another system. So then make sure that RAM is working or not. Okay. This is a RAM thing. Okay. Already I told this is IO controller. This is an IO controller. You have input devices, output devices, storage devices. So many devices are there. No? So all these devices are connected and controlled through this IO controller only. So it will maintain your input output devices. So whenever a instruction received from a device, IO controller give that instruction data to your RAM. The RAM given instruction data to your cache memory to CPU. It do all arithmetic and logical operations means the processing it will done it will do, and once it is done, give it to the cache it to the RAM to your IO controller. So either it has to be stored, then it will go to storage, it has to be displayed, it will go to the output devices. Okay, so this is how RAM is work. So that's why RAM never stores any data permanently, even turn on, turn off. But if you turn off, definitely nothing in your RAM. Guys, there is a north bridge and south bridge on your motherboards. North bridge functionality is to make a communication between, so it controls the communication between your processor and the RAM. South bridge is controls the communication between your RAM and IO controllers and IO devices. Means all peripherals, that communication will take care by your south bridge only. Okay. Guys, understand? CPU, RAM, up to here. So we'll continue the ROM after the break. Okay. So because you need to feed with the small things. Okay. We'll continue the ROM after the break. So take 15 minutes of break, come back at 4:15. Okay. So then we'll continue from ROM, motherboard, all these things. ROM is a bigger one because ROM, BIOS settings, CMOS battery, that is big story. It is there. I have to tell that story because that is more important than any other things. Means next things. Someone send a message. Okay, okay. Yes, sir.